10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
This is Steve Moulton from 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and this is What's Happening. Be sure and download our app. Just search 977 ESPN in your Google Marketplace or your Apple Store, depending on your device, so you can take us wherever you might go. And you can also check out our latest zone deals. Head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. The top left banner reads, "Savings never tasted so good." Click on that, then enter in the big zone deals store for half-off zone deals of Lawler's Barbecue, Sea Salt, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Bubby's Diner, Corlejos Mexican Grill, Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, Divergence, Full Moon Barbecue, Bigfoot Little Donuts, Hickory Store Barbecue, Good Company Cafe, Apple Lane Farms, the Decatur location, and rounds of golf at Cherokee Ridge Golf Course and Gunter's Landing. And that's what's happening.
We're studying game film.
Seems to me there's more to college than just hitting the books.
Scribbling X's and O's. Even running wind sprints to get our voices in shape. All this for our coverage of college football just for you.
Just leave it to the profession.
From spring drills to hoisting the national championship trophy. When you want football, you want 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
Good morning. I'm Doug Brown. For the second game in a row, the Thunder take control in the third quarter and beat the Timberwolves, this time 118-103. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 38 points and 8 assists. Jalen Williams, 26 points and 10 rebounds for OKC. They lead the series 2-0. In the NHL playoffs, the Cup champs are rolling in the East Final after a 5-0 win at Carolina to take a 2-0 series lead. The Panthers are now 6-2 on the road in these playoffs. Sam Bennett with 2 goals and an assist. Carter Verhaeghe had 3 assists. In the WNBA, the Fever beat the Dream in Atlanta 81-76. Caitlin Clark held to just 11 points and no threes. Only the second time that's happened spanning her college and pro career.
I'm
funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown and you.
The lunchtime whistle and the morning's finally done. I'm jumping in my car, I'm gonna have a little fun. The Doghouse Network's on my radio dial. Big Dog's taking care of business for a while. Listening to another station I don't understand. But nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. They go up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land. Nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
Yes, I'm on here. Am I on? Somebody respond.
This is going to be just a little bit different. We're not going to be going into this. No, you kill that right now, John Abraham.
I like it.
No.
I like this part.
No. Your father is not on the air. You can stop trying to suck up to him right now.
No, I actually love that song.
No, this song is awful.
Are you serious? You love that song?
I like it.
No. No.
Who are you?
No.
Who are you?
Not
What do you
just
mean?
no. But here we go, because there are 3 voices that you are about to hear over the course of the next 2 hours.
What's up?
On the Thom Abraham Show. I am Joe Hunk. He is Steve Moulton. John Abraham is over there as well.
Playing the awful music.
Platters and stacks.
No.
No.
We're not doing any of that.
Although we will do.
I'm actually sick, though. It makes sense for me to do it because I'm actually sick right now. It makes sense. So, if you're listening on ESPN Winchester, or if you are listening on ESPN 97.7, ESPN The Zone, or WZZ and TV, you already know all of this.
We're on CDT as well, right?
Yes, we are as well. We're everywhere.
Okay.
We're everywhere. We're in Nashville. We're in Winchester.
If there's an Abraham involved, we're a part of it.
That is absolutely it. So we're every single place right now that you can be listening to it. But I am now sick. I got sick because my son has been sick, and I was talking with these guys in between the shows, and I said, look, when your little man wants to just come up and snuggle with you because he doesn't feel good, you can't say no.
Yeah, but then you turn around and get into the same booth with someone who's sick, and all of a sudden you want to get out the Lysol and just like spray down everything. All of a sudden I'm breathing different over here.
Yeah.
It's all in your head at this point.
Oh, trust me.
You guys social distancing, so that's the good thing.
Oh, we are.
Is this?
Yeah,
this doesn't feel like 6 feet to me.
Yeah, this is 2020.
Maybe
here.
a foot and a half.
Yeah, this is 2020, 2021. This is exactly what we were doing. This is how it was supposed to be. John, you're 6 feet away from us.
Oh, I got the glass that everybody was putting up back in 2020.
Yeah.
Some people have left up just
Wow.
forever.
You sound rough.
I do. I feel so bad too.
Sound rough.
I'm like, I've got it calculated and timed out when I can take my next thing of Tylenol or whatever these blue pills are that my wife is giving me.
Blue
I don't know.
pills.
Not those blue pills.
That wouldn't
I
help.
have 3 kids.
Day.
I was about to say.
Got both of y'all on that one, didn't I?
No, I didn't say blue pills.
Yeah, absolutely. So, NSR, this is what you're getting on this Friday afternoon. We hope that you are enjoying this. You can get it on the phone lines, 256-576-977, as this is hour 3 of the Blitz that we were just calling the Tom Abraham Show.
Yeah,
with Steve.
but I didn't join you guys earlier.
No, you know what Steve did?
I was too busy getting food.
Steve was amazing because it is Memorial Day weekend. You had
Don't say it.
No,
do
I'm
not say. Don't say. Please don't say Happy Memorial Day.
No,
please don't say.
Who says Happy Memorial Day?
I was driving on the Parkway up here, and it's just there are a few things that hit my button. One of them is Happy Memorial Day, and because it's not.
Who says that?
It's not happy. Joe knows what I'm talking about up in Winchester right now. You do not say Happy Memorial Day.
No, you can say Happy Labor Day.
Yeah. Is there? I can't think of another holiday in which I'm as passionate about it not being happy.
Yeah, if you don't know what Memorial Day weekend is, it is to honor and to mourn the military members that have been lost.
Now, it's one thing to slip up and say it. It's another thing to put it on an actual billboard, though.
Yeah.
Because how does that get through?
It was a lawyer billboard, too.
To the point where it gets on a billboard.
Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah, I hope you're enjoying this one. Give me a call.
So you think about holidays, you think, oh, happy holidays.
Happy New Year's, happy Valentine's Day.
It's
We
not
do
the same.
stupid holiday.
It's not the same holiday.
So I brought in some my favorite ribs here in town.
Yes.
Is at Lawler's Barbecue.
Well, and there is a Lawler's in Lewisburg, Tennessee as well.
Yes, sir.
I passed it every single day driving between Huntsville and Nashville. Every day I looked over there and I went, man, that's some good. If I didn't have to use both hands trying to drive, I would go over there and I would have got me some pork. But you can't really do the spoon thing when you're trying to drive.
Well, I'll tell you, it was fall off the bone yet again.
Oh my gosh!
Thank you, Lawlers. But it was fall off the bone yet again, and I'm just telling you, I'm good. This is Memorial Day, food, certainly remembering those that we have lost as well. But it is going to be a fun Friday here on the show.
No, it absolutely is. In fact, the one in Lewisburg, Tennessee is the only Lawler's Barbecue in the state of Tennessee.
Wow.
Okay. It's worth it.
It is amazing.
I'm just telling you, it's worth it.
It absolutely is. It's right across from the Walmart.
Yeah.
And I can tell you exactly where it is. It's right across from the Walmart in Lewisburg, Tennessee.
Okay.
And you guys can also get some Lawlers if you head over to Big Zone Deals. We do have those deals every once in a while. So keep
every once in a while. I don't think they're up there right now, though.
They sell out so quick.
Yeah, but I will tell you, there is a Full Moon Barbecue, which we are really close to here in Huntsville.
I drive.
And when you go over that little overpass and you smell it, I mean, that is Full Moon Barbecue.
They'll turn me around right away.
Yeah. You've also got Hickory Store Barbecue. What else? Jefferson's as well. That's a new one. that is out there.
What is Jefferson's? You guys were broadcasting from there a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I had a steak burger out there. That was fantastic. Yeah, it is over. There's a new one in Newmarket, but the one we broadcasted from was in Hampton Cove, the Hampton Cove area. But it's just kind of a burger, wing, oyster bar. So, but it's really known for its birth around the Jacksonville State community.
So let me ask a random question, and this is going to be very random.
They got a good chicken sandwich, Joe.
Do the servers there wear bright colored pants?
No.
I
think it's a red shirt and jeans.
Jeans. I want to say jeans.
Okay. Reason I ask is because the way that the first pickup line that I ever tried to use on my now wife.
Oh, wow. So it worked.
No, it didn't work.
It didn't work.
No. The pickup line that I used,
worked.
it eventually did, because I was doing an event here in Huntsville. It was for Toys for Tots, and my wife now came to donate. We had never spoken before, but the night before I'd went to eat at a Jefferson's, and every single server there was wearing bright colored pants, bright green, bright red, bright orange. Like, it was kind of the thing. Now, they may have changed over the years. And this was back in 2000. And
the only other Jefferson's that I know around here was in Scottsboro.
See, and that's why I was asking the question. So she gets out, she makes the donation. She's wearing bright green pants. So sure enough, I try to strike up a conversation. It's like, you work at Jefferson's. And she says, yeah, no, I'm actually a nurse. I save people's lives.
My wife's a nurse as well. So
we didn't speak.
I mean,
the next time we spoke was 5 months later.
Yeah.
It did not. That pickup line did not work whatsoever. She would tell me later on that she got back in the car with her friend and she was like, what is that a-hole doing? What's to say I'm a waitress at a restaurant? I'm a nurse, please. And I'm like, my bad. I was just trying to compliment you to strike a conversation up. So that's the reason why I asked.
That's what he was trying to do.
That's exactly
what he was trying to do.
A lot of Jeffersons popped up, actually.
That's what he was trying to do.
Yeah, in the last few years. There's one up in Winchester, too.
3 kids later.
3 kids later, man. 3 kids later. 2 of them sick right now. And a husband that's sick as well.
A marriage built off of Jeffersons. Definitely check that out. I know, Steve, you had a wonderful time over there, but a lot of people having a wonderful time down in Hoover, which we've been following extensively here on 97.7 and WNSR and every other station that this show is on. And, of course, if you guys missed out on any of those conversations in past shows, you can go over to WZZN TV on our YouTube page and check out all of those in full.
I think CDT is the Winchester station is running the SEC baseball tournament, I think. But I don't think NSR is. I think they're fully deep in Atlanta Braves land, which comes up tonight. And
it's Ronald Acuna Day.
Yeah.
It's Ronald Acuna Day.
Yeah.
It is Ronald Acuna Day.
I feel like the only person that's not excited right now is Steve.
It's the guy that used to work for the Atlanta Braves. He's the one that's not excited.
Oh.
Is it bad that I want to trade Ronald Acuna?
Yes, it's extremely bad that you. Why do you
want
to
the right
trade?
deal? For the right deal. Okay, for the right deal.
Okay, let's back this up. Guess we're hopping into this right now. Why would you want to trade him? I'm going to assume the first reason is the injury history.
Well, I'm also thinking about value as well. What can you get? Because if you further along this, I think Ronald's like 27, 28, somewhere in that neighborhood. He still has a lot of good years left in front of him, but I think his best years are behind him.
He is 27.
So if you are going to get decent value, I'm thinking about be it draft picks or arms or just I do trust Alex Anthopoulos a good bit.
So right now, Acuna is in the middle of this 8-year, $100 million deal that he signed with the Braves back in, I believe it was like 2022.
I thought it was a 10-year deal.
It was. It says 8 years, $100 million. It goes all the way from 2022 to 2029 when he'll become an unrestricted free agent. There are 2 club options for 2027 and 2028.
So I shouldn't want to trade Ronald Acuna.
No, but what's really interesting is if he continues to get injured, you think the Braves wouldn't actually take up the club option because it's $17 million. That's why it's like, okay.
And he's tweeting out as well about other players.
Yeah. So the total contract, because you were asking about that, is 10 years, $124 million. But on the average, as far as what is going on the terms of it, it was an 8-year, $100 million deal with 27 and 28 being a part of the extra 2 years.
So we're at the point now here of we've hit the quarter post of the season for the Atlanta Braves. Padres are in town. I think that's a bad matchup yet again. But nonetheless, Strider's back-ish. He's not really going to get into a groove maybe till another 4 or 5 starts, maybe, if he stays healthy.
If he stays healthy.
And let's be real here. I listen, 21 was magical. 21 was fairy dust, was something that just rarely happens. Can we all agree on that? 21, it took him forever to get it back to 521.
Yeah,
I think it was like late August.
Yeah, because
mid-August.
when they lost Acuna, they were below 500.
Yeah. But then, so I'm not, 21 obviously can happen yet again, but I'm not saying, what I am saying is that is the exception and not the rule. So can we all agree that the Dodgers are the odds-on favorite unless they play the Angels?
Yeah, you're talking about the second best team in Los Angeles. Let's be straight about this. I mean, come on. LA is LA, but LA is no Anaheim.
I'm just thinking about the long-term future as an Atlanta Brave guy. And I am an Atlanta Brave guy. Ronald, you know what? Ball out for like a month and then trade him right before the trade deadline. And maybe I'm way off base. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but it wouldn't hurt me to see Ronald in a different uniform.
Yeah. I think that you're probably not alone with that. When it comes to diehard Braves fans, I feel like everybody's got their own skepticism. And for a guy like Ronald Acuna, it is getting to that point where
we can always call up Eddie Rosario. Oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. He's a Nashville Sound.
Yeah. It was
walk-off for the Nashville Sounds last night.
Yeah, he was rocking the throwback jerseys.
Did they go throwback?
So they go throwback every single Thursday. And every single Thursday, here's the deal. And I will continue to say this until the day I die. If the Nashville market gets Major League Baseball, they should just promote the Nashville Sounds. Just move them up to the major leagues, and that's what they should do.
It's a big brand.
They're retro
Not called
jerseys.
the Stars?
No.
You don't like that?
The Stars have been able to bring a lot of notoriety to it, and the Stars could even potentially be the people that buy the Sounds. That's fine. But as far as the Sounds and the name brand and everything that comes along with it, their uniforms look professional. I'm still not 100% on board with the guitar strings that go down the sleeves for their home and away uniforms.
It's very Nashville. It's like whenever the Predators had the pick.
If you take it out, it looks extremely professional. Their retro jerseys, which is from the first year they were in existence, I want to say 1977, 1978, which is the uniforms that they wore last night at First Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably the best uniforms and the best throwbacks in all of professional baseball.
I'll have to. So
they look good. Every single Nashville Sound thing that I own is the retro.
You're not wrong. And I do remember you rocking that Nashville Sounds hat. That classic Nashville Sounds looks really good. And I believe what are these? The notes, the musical notes for the S's.
Yes,
looks so
yeah,
sweet.
It's and again, that's why I just say is the Nashville Sounds has a brand. They have a look that, unlike a lot of other places that are going the more unique route, like the Trash Pandas and some of the other stadiums, like what we're seeing now, like in Columbus with the Cloverdales or whatever those are called. This is a brand that you could legitimately see them on the major league level. And the uniforms, as far as the guitar strings, I would take that out. But the rest of the uniform looks like one that you could see on the opposite side of the Baltimore Orioles. So on the opposite side of the Milwaukee Brewers.
As for the game, the Sounds were down 6-1 before they rallied back to beat the Rail Riders 7-6 in extra innings. thanks to Eddie Rosario. I mean,
speaking of 2021,
was he followed up by Adam Duvall?
Yeah, then right
was
after that,
Adam Duvall like on
Jock
deck?
Peterson, as a matter of fact, was right behind them.
Yeah, we're in the Pearls.
Yeah, Jock Peterson is there. And then you got the night shift is the one that came out, and he was the one that closed it. The Milwaukee Brewers now have just turned the Nashville Sounds into the 2021 Braves.
And it was closed out by Jesse Shop.
That's exactly it. And Luke Jackson, God love you.
Is he still in Texas, I think?
Yes, he is. Because I faced him the other night on MLB The Show. Yeah.
Oh, did you really?
Absolutely. And I was like, wait, that Luke Jackson? Are you serious?
That's why we play these sports games.
Yeah, that's what it is. So here's the question, though, because I ask you this, and we can, because we have
Luke Jackson, a big Bo Jackson fan, by the way.
Oh, humongous. One of them was a lot more clutch than the other. And
sorry, Bo. Didn't mean to pull you down that way.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'm obviously talking about Bo.
Ears are ringing right
So you
now.
talk about trading Ronald Acuna, which if you trade Ronald Acuna at the trade deadline after having a month or two of success, it's because you are trading him for, would you say, a piece to help you make a playoff run? Or is this
No, I'm not talking
future?
about this year. I'm talking
This
about
is a
future.
punt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a punt for me.
Okay, because I'm looking right now.
But I mean, honestly, if you tell me you've done this far, this long, what the Braves are on, let's see here. It'll be game 50. We're at game 50 today.
Game 50
for the Braves, and they're one game under 500, and they've done this without their two biggest pieces on the roster for the most part. And
see, the other part is, if you are punting on 2025, which they're 500 right now, well, they're 24-25. The thing is you still also have Chris Sale, who's going to be
he's going tonight.
To me, that's a bigger bargaining chip because you're not really attached to Chris Sale. You were the team that brought him in when nobody else wanted him, when you got him in a trade from Boston. He wins a Cy Young last year. If he could pitch somewhat decent over the course of the next 3 months, you could potentially trade him for minor league players, or you could trade him for somebody else. You're not wanting to go after like a Shane Beamer. You're not, or Bieber. You're not going to go after a Dylan Crease, a Cease or something along those lines. Like the other players right now that you could see being a part of a trade that if the Braves were looking to become better, would be Marcell Ozuna is supposed to be a free agent after this year. I mean, if you're 500, you trade Ozuna and you trade Sale, and those pieces are going to bring you back more things that you could still go with and keep Acuna and punt on him for just a couple of more seasons.
Well, it sounds like we need to talk to a Caray more than anything to bring in this conversation. Josh Caray is set to join us. Also coming up at the top of the hour, Vince Ferrara is going to join us as the Vols and the Longhorns. I'm telling you, that game was so much fun to follow. And Vanderbilt, honestly, a winner last night as well. I mean, the state of Tennessee did very well in the SEC tournament yesterday. We'll talk to Vince, and we'll talk some NFL as well with Mr. NFL. I mean, he's been covering the NFL for almost 50 years, and John McClain.
Leather helmets.
Well, I'm John, that wasn't me. John, that wasn't me.
50 years, man. You said 50 years.
Well, that was like back in the 70s, okay?
Okay, fine. Single bar helmet. Is that better?
Yeah. The
old, maybe a few kickers with the single bar.
The old Joe Theismann helmets.
He got to cover Joe Namath. That actually does kind of match the time frame, as a matter of fact.
It does. Yeah.
Tom Abraham show going to be a little bit different on this Friday.
Josh Caray coming up next.
I can't even say the stations. There's too many.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is extremely proud to have recently received numerous awards, including being voted best wings in the state of Alabama. Other awards received include Best All-Around Restaurant, Best American Restaurant, #1 Sports Bar, Best Chef, Best Wings, and Best Dining Experience. Thank you for 43 legendary years, and we look forward to providing you an award-winning dining experience at every visit. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
Would you call a plumber for a root canal? The same goes for selling your timberland or farm. Choose someone who understands your property and can help you on the front end so you can capitalize on the back end. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction. As a guide, I have put many hunters in position to take a shot. It's time for you to take your shot. Let's talk about putting you in position to sell your property. Call me at 256-609-0512. Remember, Bo knows land.
Rocket City, for air that's cool and clean, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get HVAC smart with Professor Green and the expert team at sensagreen.com. Now offering up to $1,500 off any new Bryant system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new. Plan your next vacation with Huntsville International Airport and Breeze Airways. Enjoy friendly, convenient, nonstop travel to some of the most exciting destinations in the U.S., including the home of 12 world-famous theme parks, Orlando, Florida. With flights starting as low as just $49, Breeze has got you covered with easy, breezy, nonstop flights to Orlando. Make all their dreams come true. Book nonstop to Orlando now at flybreeze.com.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a back compressor, leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490.
AL certain number 21014.
Tom Abraham back from my friend Ross Roberts at Valley Equipment Rental. It's springtime, so let's get that garden tilled with a tiller from Valley Equipment. And while you're at it, snag a power washer for the house and the driveway. And if you're putting in a sprinkler system, they have the small trencher that you need. And you can even rent a Skag zero-turn mower and much more to get your property in shape. Valley Equipment, not just for the contractor, but the homeowner as well. 2 locations on the North and South Parkway. Valley Equipment Rental. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the show is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford's award-winning service department for the routine checkups to keep your Ford or other brand in working order. But they can also take care of bigger problems as well because they got expert service technicians down there, and they're going to quickly diagnose your problem and use state-of-the-art tools to get it resolved. They also have a great mobile service where they can come out to you. You need to check it all out. You need to make an appointment today. Do it at WoodyAndersonFord.com. That's WoodyAndersonFord.com.
I would know Thom today. I seriously am trying to petition John into playing some of our music from earlier in the day. Like the rap. Like I just want, like, let's just go with that.
Clean stuff.
All clean.
Okay.
It is all clean. Every bit of it is clean. Just, I feel like right now we're at what was the hockey tournament that we all loved?
Oh,
Frozen Four. No, it's not Frozen Four.
You're talking about the international.
Yeah, the one that USA was using Freebird for their celebration song every time they scored a goal. Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm all for Freebird.
We're not talking hockey right now because it's Ron Acuna Day and it's baseball day.
That's right.
And we're all excited because
Padres in town.
Padres and Braves are getting going right now. Coming up here in just a little bit, you're going to also have Ole Miss and Arkansas at 3:00, 6:30. It's going to be Texas A&M and LSU.
So the SEC,
winner of those two will play each other tomorrow.
The SEC games will be heard, I assume, on WCDT as well as here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Braves and Padres come up tonight on WNSR up there.
NSR.
Up there in Nashville, Tennessee.
Just east of Nashville is a small little town that's actually really awesome. If you don't visit it very often, it is very cool to go to, and that would be the city of Chattanooga.
East of Nashville?
Yeah, it's east of Nashville.
Yeah.
West would be Memphis.
Yeah, but you got to say southeast of Nashville.
Well, it's still east.
The Division II college women's college World Series is in Chattanooga right now.
It's going on right now. Is it over at UT Chat? Is that where they're having that at?
I don't know that answer.
But also going on is the fact that the Trash Pandas are taking on the Lookouts.
That's
as
right.
Well, they've been up there for all week, and Josh Caray is going to be joining us right now on the Thom Abraham Show. As you are alive in Huntsville as well as Winchester and Nashville. Josh, how's it going, man?
Hey guys, great to be on with y'all, and so interesting to be hearing someone other than Thom. I hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend.
We are. How is Chattanooga treating you so far?
Oh, it's beautiful. This is probably my favorite city to visit. When we go on the road, it's so wonderful up here, and it's close to Atlanta, which is of course where I'm from, but it's I call it a little slice of paradise. The stadium might not be the best, but it's such a great city, and downtown is always a favorite of mine. So I love coming out here, and it's been a great week weather-wise so far.
Well, I mentioned whenever you were coming on just now that you're also not only on in Huntsville right now, but Winchester and Nashville, which means that there are a lot of Tennessee fans listening. And you had a Tennessee player on the team up until about 72 hours ago. And that is one Christian Moore, who had a day for Salt Lake yesterday.
Did he?
Oh, he was a triple shy of the cycle. He had a pair of stolen bases. He had like 2 or 3 RBIs. Like he had a day for the Bees. But Josh, were you surprised that it actually took this long for Christian Moore to get called up from Huntsville to Salt Lake?
Well, it kind of depends, right?
Yeah.
If you were to ask me this last August when he first showed up and he had that week where he hit 5 home runs, I would have said yes, because he was just he was untouchable for about a week, and then immediately after that, guys started to figure him out a little bit. He was susceptible to inside pitches, was really struggling with the breaking ball, which just about every hitter since the beginning of time has struggled with. His defense was suspect, and it became very apparent, I would say, about mid-August of last year that this guy, for all the talent he has and does have, he had some holes in his game. So, you get through the end of the season, he had a couple of injury issues pop up, and then he starts this season where he's not really hitting for any power. He's not hitting for much average. His defense had improved. So it really, as it turned out, no, it really wasn't a surprise. There were a lot of things he had to work on, and fortunately he did. And fortunately for him, he's going to a place that is very hitter friendly, and hopefully he'll be able to get his power stroke going, because that's right now the main thing that's missing. But he still has all the talent in the world. But as it turned out, him staying in Rocket City as long as he did was really beneficial for him, and hopefully he's able to excel.
Well, and Josh in particular, batting averages are down across the board. Is the pitching getting better? What do you think is contributing to these batting averages going down across the board around not just Major League Baseball, but it feels like in minor league baseball as well?
Well, I do think the pitching is better. I think we're getting away from just the gunning which is what I call rare back, throw 98 miles an hour and hope for the best. I think guys are becoming much better at locating their pitches and changing speeds. I think we're getting back to that a lot, and it's throwing a lot of the hitters off. But I think the biggest thing, more than anything, Steve, is the fact that we move guys so quickly now. I know the Angels are notorious for moving guys quickly through their farm system, but it's not just them. You get a lot of these kids who come from these high major colleges, the Tennessees of the world, and they want to get them to Major League Baseball as soon as possible because there's so much money invested in them from the get-go. And so what happens is guys who are maybe not really ready for double or triple A are being thrust out there. And as a result, they begin to struggle because they're facing pitchers who are really, really good and really know what to do and really know how to change speeds and mix things up. And that's a foreign concept because even in the SEC, even in high major college baseball, most pitchers have a fastball and then one other offering, and that's about it. When you get to double and triple A, you're facing guys who have 3 or 4 different pitches. They can throw them all for strikes, and a lot of hitters don't know what to do. So that's to me the biggest thing.
Well, and Josh, also, as we're looking at these players that are coming up, you have a team right now that it's the success of the Trash Pandas is kind of connected to the Bees and is connected to the Angels, and same thing like for the Lookouts for this. So whenever you look at what's going on right now with the Trash Pandas, you haven't won as many games as you want to. Where are some positions right now that you see like maybe there's a single A guy that could be getting a call up pretty soon to get an opportunity for that?
Well, it sort of depends. Right now, there are a lot of young guys on the Trash Pandas right now who I think are genuine prospects for the Angels. These are guys, in fact, they did a ranking before the beginning of the season, and the Trash Pandas had the 9th most prospects on their ball club. Doesn't mean that they were the top prospects in all of minor league baseball. They were just guys who are within the Angel system are considered top prospects. So there are a lot of guys who the Angels are really high on, who they feel could contribute at the major league level. And, they're taking it on the chin a little bit, learning how to play the game at a high level. And so because of that, I don't know if there's really a quote unquote opening right now.
Yeah.
You look at second base, obviously with Christian Moore now being sent to AAA, there's a possible opening there. We've just, being sent to us was a guy named Mitch Daly, who's from Madison, Alabama.
Yep.
I think he's going to have that position for the next few weeks or at least the next couple of months. So I don't know if there's really anything available at the time, but you look at Class A, and I think a lot of guys who are with Inland Empire and Tri-City are where they need to be right now. So we'll just see how things unfold. There are a lot of guys on the ball club who play multiple positions, and so you can kind of mix and match and switch guys around if you're Andy Shatzley, and that's just really where they're at right now.
Mitch Daly, by the way, is a Bob Jones grad, as a matter of fact. John, I know that you had a question.
I do have a question, and this is going over to the Major League Baseball scene. And looking at the Braves, some people calling today Ronald Acuna Jr. Day.
That's me.
At least
that's me. That's what I'm calling it. Yeah.
And it's honestly a pretty big deal. But I want to know your opinions on it for adding a guy of his status back to the lineup. How does this affect the Braves moving forward, especially facing off against this Padres team that has not looked good in the last 6 matchups?
Well, let's just remember it's one guy, and it's a significant guy. Don't get me wrong, but he's one guy, and you can't. It's not like basketball where you can just hand him the ball and let him do his thing. You got to hope that his turn in the lineup comes up. That's number one. Number two, he's coming off a pretty significant injury. How does he respond within the first month or so? You hear a lot of football players talk about when they tear up a knee. That first year back, they're not quite the same because they can't cut and move as they typically do. Don't know if that's the case for Ronnie. We're going to find out soon. But the biggest thing of all is having a year off and suddenly playing at the highest level of baseball there is. Just how good is he going to be? Now, just his presence in the lineup alone is hopefully going to set up other guys in the lineup for success. Obviously, if you pitch around Ronnie and you wind up walking him, then how do you pitch to guys 2, 3, and 4 in the order? Those are the types of things that make him such a difference maker. Just his presence in the lineup will hopefully open some doors offensively for the ball club. But at the end of the day, he's ultimately just one guy, and he's not going to be a fix-all. There are other issues with the Braves that they got to figure out right now. but getting Ronnie back is certainly a step in the right direction. I just don't know how good he's going to be from the word get-go.
There was a moment yesterday in the Braves-Nationals game where you know what? I'm ready for it. This is why I want to go down this path with you, Josh, where AJ threw a strike. We all knew it was a strike, called it a ball. He tapped his head like he was in the minors.
Like it was spring training?
Yeah. Like, hang on. Come on now. I'm there, Josh. I am ready for this to happen on the major league level.
Yeah, I think we're getting to it too. Here's what's funny. That's the only level where it's allowed. They don't allow it in AA. And obviously they don't allow it in the majors. Yeah. And that's what's so frustrating is if we're going to go down this path, let's go ahead and get to it. What you hope and pray for is something like this doesn't happen in October when everything is on the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, we know where this is all headed. It's going to get there. I think it'll be there probably next year. And if not next year, then certainly by 27. But umpires are human beings and they call so many pitches. You know, they're going to miss one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes you miss one and it winds up making a huge difference in the game. It cannot get here soon enough. And I think when it does, if they use it correctly, if they use it the way they're supposed to, it hopefully won't interfere with the game. That's really the biggest thing.
Well, and being in Nashville, and I was around a lot of the Sounds for a long period of time over the course of 2 or 3 years. And I'm looking at the way that they did this because there was 2 different systems. The one in which I believe we're all kind of in favor of, it only takes milliseconds to actually make the decision. Like it doesn't interfere with anything. But I ask you with this is I know that baseball's not very speedy when it comes to making some changes with certain things. If this was a thing that they're truly thinking about doing in 2026, could we see possibly Major League Baseball coming together and saying, you know what, let's implement this for the postseason, just like what we did with spring training, since the postseason is so important?
I would not be opposed to it. I just don't know if you want to go down that hole, especially if they aren't 100% confident in everything working. Now, I have not heard, Commissioner Manfred or anyone else saying, what the results are to this point. My gut tells me, though, that the reason why they probably won't go down that path is simply because there may be something that they're concerned about, whether there's an internet issue or whether there's a connectivity problem, or we have issues with our Hawkeye system and our pitch tracks and everything before a game. Sometimes it doesn't work. It's been a little unreliable. Now, granted, this is AA, but what I'm saying is if you get to a World Series, say Game 3, and you're ready to go and suddenly the system goes down, well, now you don't have it anymore. And you got to suddenly go back to your old rules right in the middle of the World Series. That's probably the reason why they want to hold back on it, is they want to make sure that this is working at all times. And what is the fallback if something goes down?
Well, and unfortunately, you know how this works is if something like that were to happen in a World Series and it was, say, the visiting team that was asking for the replay and it goes down, next thing you know, we start getting into conspiracy theories.
Tinfoil.
Yeah. I mean, we start getting down that path.
Anytime you get technology involved, you're rolling the dice a little bit. You're asking the computer to work all the time, and sometimes it just doesn't. It doesn't matter how reliable it is.
Yeah.
And so by going down this path, you better hope that it works all the time. And if it doesn't, what's the backup?
No doubt about it. And we're talking a lot of things in the past and some in the future, but today the Braves are going to be facing off against the Padres. And the Padres, again, I brought it up, they've lost 6 of their last 6 matchups. And I just want to know what exactly is wrong with them, because, I mean, there were 2 games against, I believe, the Blue Jays where they looked like a totally different team.
Are you asking me about the Padres or the Braves?
The Padres. I mean, if you have any sense of what's going on with San Diego right now.
Not really. I mean, I haven't been able to stay up a whole lot and watch those guys. But you know what? Here's the deal. Anytime you play baseball, you're going to go through stretches like this. They've lost 6 in a row, and the Angels have won 7 in a row. I mean, I don't think anyone had that on their bingo card at the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. Everyone goes through ups and downs like this. In fact, 3 of the wins that the Angels picked up came against the Dodgers, who a lot of people still think is the best team in baseball. There's 162 of these things. Everyone goes through peaks and valleys. I think if you're the Padres, you just chalk this up to being a bad week. And look, the losses, the Blue Jays aren't a bad team. The Mariners are pretty good as well. They're not as good as the Padres, but still, those are good baseball teams. And you're going to go through issues like this during the course of the season. And if you're Atlanta, you hope to take advantage of that because, they're playing bad ball right now. See if you can jump on them.
Yeah, I totally agree. And you say you haven't stayed up for these matchups. I don't think the Padres have either. But Josh, appreciate you as always, man. You do a great job for us. You do a great job for the city of Huntsville as well. And just look forward to talking to you soon. And
get home.
Yeah,
get home.
Get on back home.
Oh, 2 weeks on the road, man. It's starting to get to us a little bit, but we're going to be back there Tuesday, day after Memorial Day. We kick off a week-long homestand against Biloxi. Hope to see everyone down there.
No doubt about it. Good stuff, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Be good, guys. Thanks.
Voice of the Trash Pandas there, and Josh Caray. I still have a little bit of PTSD with that first series right out of the gate. A little Profar humor there as well.
Well, yeah, because remember, Profar is supposed to be a massive player for this team. Braves signed him. Great.
Remember what? He's coming back, mid-June?
There's a guy you can trade. Trade him.
Yeah.
Let's see what he can do first for the Braves.
No, trade him. The guy's had one good season.
Here's the thing.
He's about to make me start coughing because I want to yell.
Either way, I mean, whatever team he does end up on,
not lying.
No postseason for him this year. So,
yeah there's another. Why do you even play? What's the use of even playing if you cannot use him in October? There's none. Send him down to Gwinnett, let him be a striper, and then there you go. That's what you do. Let the Sounds play him. He has no use for Atlanta.
Totally agree with you guys. Either way, let's take it to break. When we get back, close out the first hour of the Thom Abraham Show here on every single station in the Tennessee football team.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show with Joe Hunk on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
NASCAR's Memorial Day holiday weekend of racing begins at the Charlotte Motor Speedway today with the Truck Series race. Corey Heim, the plus 175 favorite. Kyle Busch plus 185. Ross Chastain 6-1. William Byron plus 350 to win tomorrow's Xfinity Series race, while Kyle Larson is plus 550 to win the Coca-Cola 600 on Sunday. He's also 18-1 to win the Indy 500 as he attempts the double. How to award the 5-1 favorite to win at Indianapolis. Troy Trojans, a $2.80 favorite over Old Dominion today, plus 210, 14.5 the total in the Sun Belt Conference Baseball Tournament. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Thom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window Company. When it comes to replacement windows, exterior doors, or new window screens, Your Home Window is the answer anywhere in Huntsville, Athens, Decatur, or Hartselle. Your Home Window windows and doors are made here in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. When replacing those old windows or doors, Your Home Window has the solution for you. In-home estimates are always free and financing is available. Learn more at yourhomewindow.com and see clearly with Your Home Window. Visit yourhomewindow.com to make an appointment today.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
You've seen those beautiful epoxy floors in a garage or carport area and have probably wondered, how can I get that done? Well, the answer is Lifetime Epoxy Floors. Lifetime Epoxy Floors is an A-plus rated business with the Better Business Bureau and has been family-owned for over 14 years. They do both residential and commercial applications and get most jobs done in a day. Lifetime Epoxy Floors' motto is, we love what we do, and it shows. Visit lifetimeepoxyfloors.com to schedule a free estimate today and check them out on Facebook.
When the biggest names in aerospace, financial services, and electronics needed office and manufacturing space in Huntsville, they called Samples Properties, and they've been doing it for over 40 years. When Huntsville first began to grow, so did Samples Properties. You can trust your business to Samples Properties and their deep knowledge of the commercial real estate market in Huntsville and Madison. When you're in the market for commercial real estate and you need a partner who knows how to make your plans come together, Samples Properties can guide you through all the legal, financial, and regulatory hurdles. And if you just need office space to start or grow your business, Samples Properties is the call you need to make. Go to samplesproperties.com to see the impressive list of clients that have profited from the knowledge and integrity of Samples Properties. For commercial real estate development and consultation, trust your business to Samples Properties, with offices on Madison Street in downtown Huntsville. Samplesproperties.com.
Your Fox 54 weather, brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
A fantastic Friday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid-70s, dropping into the upper 50s as we head into the overnight. A little bit of rain is going to be possible. From there, scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast on Saturday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms stay in the forecast Sunday. And then as we head into your Memorial Day. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by Your Home Window. You know, when it comes to replacement windows or exterior doors or new window screens, Your Home Window is the answer. Anywhere in Huntsville, Athens, Decatur, or Hartselle. Your Home Window windows and doors are made right here in the U.S., and they come with a lifetime warranty, and they're always going to help you out with an in-home estimate for free, and financing is available. Check them out. It's yourhomewindow.com. Yourhomewindow.com.
Keep giving him permission. Thom Abraham Show.
Yes, it is.
Thom Abraham music. Well, still not a Football Friday music.
Thank goodness.
I have it loaded.
No, do not.
Don't make me pull that trigger, boy.
Do not.
That's right.
Steve Moulton, John Abraham on with you coming up in the next hour. I mean, we're slammed in the next hour as well, talking about a lot. But let me ask you guys, because this is going to be the one for John, okay? Because Steve, you and I are in here, and this is going to be the one for you. You have Amazon Prime, right?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay. The one thing that I am going to do, this is the only time I will talk NASCAR with John ever.
Wow.
Oh, my Lord.
600.
Yeah.
No.
Longest race of the year.
Yeah, won't spend a second on it.
Okay.
But Amazon Prime also just dropped the Dale Earnhardt docuseries.
Oh, yeah, they did.
That I will watch.
Now, that is something.
That one I will watch.
Me and Summer are going to chill out in the bed, turn the movie on, and enjoy it. Well, that's why, I mean, we got a TV in the room. You're supposed to lay in the bed and chill out.
You got a little too descriptive.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got a little too descriptive.
It's going to be sick, though. I mean, I've seen plenty of different documentaries on Dale Earnhardt, but getting to watch one that is this well produced is going to be something different. And also, I can use my Amazon Prime account just a little bit more.
Yeah,
I've been only watching Invincible and some episodes.
Not watching the 600.
Yeah, no, I'm going to enjoy the 600. But if Kyle Larson leads the entire race like he did last week, I'm going to give 2 weeks. I'm going to say 2 week ban.
Kyle Larson.
That damn Kyle Larson. Everybody loves him, but not me. He's the favorite to win, I hear.
Kyle Larson.
Okay, let me now, and next hour, again, getting back into football as well, talking a lot about NFL.
John McClain.
McClain is going to be joining us. Like, we do have all of that. But let me ask Moulton, because I know that Moulton loves music. In fact, whenever Moulton is on location setting up,
I'll just listen to music.
He'll have music going.
Yeah.
What was the first album that you can remember?
Ever.
Not ever. Not ever.
Purchasing.
That I would just abuse.
Listening from beginning until end.
I mean, that's an easy answer for me. My dad had these vinyl records and a record player. I'd play it constantly.
Okay.
There was two of them. One of them was the Tijuana Herb Albert and the Tijuana Brass Band. The cover is quite nice on that, but the music's pretty good on that one as well.
Yeah.
And for those of you that know, you know what I'm talking about.
I got a few video games like that.
Do you?
So when I was younger, yes. Juiced 2 was one of them. It was a racing game.
Juiced? I cannot.
You won't figure that out.
John, do you have one that the first one that you remember listening to beginning to end?
The other one was the Blues Brothers album, the soundtrack.
Yeah, that's actually
from start to finish.
It's a good one right there.
Yeah.
The Slim Shady LP or the Eminem Show. Those two were the ones I listened to every single night before I fell asleep, and then I added more like Relapse and all of those.
So did you know why I was asking you this?
I'm guessing an album just came out.
The Marshall Mathers LP dropped 25 years ago today.
Oh, really?
That is the one with Slim Shady on it. I listened to that front to back, skits and all.
Wow.
Like I was all about
for me,
it.
that was Beastie Boys back in the day.
Yeah. See,
Licensed to Ill.
Mm-hmm.
Licensed to Ill. I have the vinyl, the cassette. I've got it downloaded as well. I have purchased that album more than any other album ever.
I feel like Beastie Boys might connect all of us.
Well, it might.
In the entire station, not even just like us three.
But that's the reason why I asked this, because today the Marshall Mathers LP is 25 years old.
Wow.
I remember purchasing it at the mall at Cool Springs in Franklin. Oddly enough, that's where I purchased it. Listened to it from the moment I got into the car all the way until we got home, and I did not stop for months.
It's insane.
Listen, now it wasn't the first, because my first actually was the Michael Jackson Dangerous album.
Okay.
That was 1991. That had Black or White on it, had Jam, obviously Dangerous. I want to say it had Heal the World. Like it had a lot of great Michael Jackson songs on it.
I used to say that I was like the biggest Michael Jackson fan back in like 5th grade. Didn't age well. Definitely didn't age well.
No, you're right. But I also think that it's unique because I think that
if you just stick to the music.
There are a number of people that,
you know how elementary schoolers and middle schoolers could be, though. They instantly like to pick fun at anything you enjoy.
Black or White, Heal the World, Remember the Time, Jam, Dangerous.
It's a good album.
Will You Be There?
Yeah.
Who Is It? Like, I mean, those are all the songs that were on that one album.
I still have my Tom Petty Full Moon Fever album, the vinyl. I still have that one. So, I mean,
it's a good one. I want to get into my vinyl collection and expand it a little bit. Right now I have like Deftones, like 3 different Deftones and some random vinyls. But it's just they're expensive. You know, I don't know where you go to get yours. Do you thrift yours or do you get yours brand new?
There is a place over Lowell Mill.
There's 2 in Lowell Mill.
Yeah, there's one in particular that I go to over there at Lowell Mill.
Okay. Well,
and you can do the thrifting.
Yeah.
The thrifting, man, you can find a lot of good albums.
I find a lot of Christmas specials. It's just like Christmas music, nonstop, or Christian music, which I'm fine with, but it's not, it's not Eminem. It's not Tom Petty. Well,
speaking of Christian music, this man got me on the Righteous Gemstones, and I can't stop watching the show.
You're welcome.
And I've got that dumb little duet song stuck in my head.
That's great.
It is so annoying.
Yeah, isn't it all about big churches? And
it's
how do you explain it, huh?
Kenny Powers goes to church.
Yeah, the church meets the mafia.
Okay, that right there.
Yeah, church meets the mafia.
Yeah.
And what's really scary is how accurate it really kind of is about some churches.
Jeez. Vince Ferrara coming up in the second hour.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
The Braves roll into the 2025 season with a singular focus. Bring home the division title and remind the league what Atlanta is all about.
Swung on, driven to left center field and deep. That baby's out of here. Austin Riley. 3-0 to Olsen, and he powers one. Deep right center field to the wall. It's gonna fly. It's a home run. Back-to-back homers.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Doug Brown. For the second game in a row, the Thunder take control in the third quarter and beat the Timberwolves, this time 118-103. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 38 points and 8 assists. Jalen Williams, 26 points and 10 rebounds for OKC. They lead the series 2-0. In the NHL playoffs, the Cup champs are rolling in the East Final after a 5-0 win at Carolina to take a 2-0 series lead. The Panthers are now 6-2 on the road in these playoffs. Sam Bennett with 2 goals and an assist. Carter Verhaeghe had 3 assists. In the WNBA, the Fever beat the Dream in Atlanta 81-76. Caitlin Clark held to just 11 points and no threes. Only the second time that's happened spanning her college and pro career.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you. So settle in and get your bark on. Now live, here he is, the big dog, Thom Abraham.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho. Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
You were clearing your throat on air. That's awesome. Second hour of the Thom Abraham Show. That was not Thom. That was Steve Moulton. I am Joe Hunk.
Well, we're filling in for Thom Abraham.
We are filling in for Thom. We appreciate you listening. Huntsville, Winchester, Nashville.
That's our shout out to Thom.
Yes.
What is he on a boat somewhere fishing? Probably.
Yeah, he's on a charity boat, a charity fishing tournament.
Is he?
What he's doing.
Memorial Day weekend, of course.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend. I mean, of course, why wouldn't you be doing that? I mean, you're celebrating, remember?
Well, if there is one thing I've been in sports talk radio actually longer than Thom Abraham. And if there's one thing that that has kind of put its meat hooks into me, there's a couple of events, honestly, from like 20 years ago that if I would have told my future self, you're going to be watching a lot of college softball, I would have said, you're crazy. The other event is the SEC baseball tournament. I mean, the last 4 games in the SEC baseball tournament, Vandy took care of business last night. And by the way, tomorrow ought to be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm telling you, the game of the tournament was Texas and Tennessee. That thing was incredible. It needed a new umpire at home plate.
Yes. You had 4-run comebacks.
I mean, everything.
It was
amazing.
amazing.
Come back in extra innings to further it into extra innings. It was a great game.
Was also, I mean, but there was also like, mistakes, like the fact that you just randomly throw it over the first baseman's head in extra innings to turn a single all the way into a triple. Let's talk to Vince Ferrara about that, because that was like the only one thing that was the most frustrating part for me was the fact that in extra innings, like Vince, we're watching this and I'm thinking to myself as Vince joins us right now, where the heck is he throwing that ball? There was nowhere close to his first baseman being able to catch that.
Yeah, I got away from him. And good to talk to you guys. And look, I think he was in indecision. He saw that the runner was standing on the bag and he had already committed to go. So I think it was like, all right, I have to complete this throw. And man, all it takes is just a little indecision. Your form gets off. You lay, you relax a finger on the grip of the baseball and it can sail on you, especially when, he's 6'5" as it is. So, that's been the case for a number of Tennessee pitchers, right-handers, left-handers. Those pick moves have gotten away from them in some big spots. But, Tennessee wouldn't have even been in that spot if it wasn't for Brandon Arvidsson. And honestly, that was really their only blunder defensively. Part of their deal that has kind of held them back during that stretch late in the season was they would have multiple issues, or they'd have an error and then walk a couple of guys, give up a big hit, and then it really snowballs on you. Whereas, they were able to make some really good defensive plays and then come through offensively to answer back. And those things have not been as consistent in this year's team as they were last year, and frankly, in most of the Tony Vitello era.
What stood out to you the most? Because there is a lot to dissect in that 12-inning win, but what stood out to you the most in that win for the Vols?
Well, big picture, something that you mentioned in before you brought me on is how great of a game it was. That was Omaha, is what that was. That was worthy of a College World Series game that gets massive ratings on ESPN versus, two of the better baseball programs in the country battling on the SEC network. So that was one thing from a big picture standpoint. The other thing was just Tennessee's ability to bounce back. And that has been tough for them. Like, they rallied from down 4. I hadn't looked it up. That was their biggest comeback, but man, they have not had a ton of those. Now, granted, in non-conference, they were running away from teams, and in conference, they'd, have some leads and hold on to it. Those kind of things in the first half of the season, but they haven't been like Vanderbilt, where they're coming back against Alabama and Kentucky and walk-off wins. It hasn't been dramatic. It's either been them on the right side of things comfortably or on the wrong side of things comfortably. So for them to be down 4-0 and still have Texas's really good arms waiting for them in the bullpen, and regardless of who they started with, and then you didn't have your starting pitcher, your ace, your SEC pitcher of the year, and one of the best pitchers in all of college baseball, and probable top 10 pick. With him struggling in the ball game, you were still able to overcome that and answer back and tie the game at 4, then tie it again, then take the lead, use all fields, not try to hit home runs. They were there, at times, but they didn't play out of character. They had the toughness and resiliency that we saw from last year's team that just haven't seen for a while with this year's club. So that was the biggest takeaway for me. And if that continues, then this team certainly is dangerous in the NCAA tournament.
Because the game before against Alabama, boy, part of me still thinks that game's still going on, Vince. Yeah, because that thing just wouldn't end. The 15-10 win.
Yes, even with those 4 runs in the ninth by Alabama. That's not how you draw it up to get to the finish line. But in the past, they wouldn't have separated from Alabama. Like, they'd miss opportunities to pile on and extend the lead. They got it up to 9, and it looked like for a moment it was going to get run ruled. But they've had trouble cashing in offensively during that stretch in the second half of SEC play, with runners on and in scoring position, leaving a bunch of guys on at third, not getting those clutch hits that can open up an inning. But they were able to do that against pretty much every arm that Rob Vaughn and Alabama threw out there. So that it still was impressive that they had some wiggle room.
Well, and as Vince joins us right now, and I'm curious about when you were talking about that comeback and the way they haven't done this and everything. Did this give you, like, looking at this thinking, okay, let me circle this because this may be the start of what we're used to seeing from a Tennessee team in the postseason?
Well, the talent has been there. So I still was wondering whether we would see it or not. Now, it's a 2-game sample size. We'll see. Honestly, Tennessee has had, a lot, they haven't been swept. So in their run, they lost 5 straight series. They lost 6 of 7. They lost 4 straight home series, which is another one that is just still hard to comprehend. But this team that only lost 4 home games all of last year, and it just has been dominant at home, they haven't had that success there. So yeah, there's things that we've seen that we're not used to seeing, but man, the talent is still there on the mound and in their lineup. So just a matter of whether it would come together or not. And, so they've had one good game a weekend, but one game hasn't led to a run for quite a while for them. So, 2 games, I think it's very encouraging, especially the way it went down. I thought that was Tennessee's most impressive win all year. And you could argue their comeback win against Ole Miss to win the series, and that was really that's the only series during that stretch that they won. That would be another one that would be impressive, but in the manner that it happened against the opponent and the setting, all those kind of things and how it played out, I think it is encouraging, but we'll see if it does continue and, or if, a good starting pitcher or maybe, pressure, but I think they play loose away from home, neutral site, and on the road. In fact, they have the best record out of any of the 16 SEC teams in terms of winning percentage when you combine away games and neutral site games. They're undefeated in neutral site games. They are 14-6 in the 2 combined. Texas is just behind them at 69.5%, at 16-7. So that bodes well when when you get to Omaha, but you got to get there, and it looks like now Tennessee will be at home for a regional, and then they'll probably, unless there's an upset on the other side, have to go on the road for a super.
And I know you mentioned them playing loose away from home, but why has this Tennessee team historically under Vitello played so well at Hoover?
I think and they have, because if they win the SEC tournament this year, that's 3 of the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Like who does that in this conference? So it's incredible. And I do think it's them being, even though everyone talks about the home runs, they're really line drive, gap hitters, and they take the right proper approach and swing. Sometimes it leaves the yard, sometimes it's in the gap, sometimes it's just a barreled up single. And boy, did they have a bunch of them in that Alabama game, especially. So when you have the right approach, you can adjust to different ballparks. And the SEC tournament is a great warm up for Omaha because it is a big ballpark. A lot of times the wind will impact things, especially if it's blowing in, hard to leave the yard, and a ton of foul territory. So it does prepare you for Omaha. I just think they have kind of a togetherness when they go on the road. And I think this year's team, Tony Vitello kind of mentioned it a little bit, that maybe they're kind of, they've been kind of an emotional team at times. And so maybe they felt the expectation that's there for them as defending champs. They didn't come out of the gate with that, but then it's once you get into harder SEC games and larger crowds and everyone more dialed in, you can understand with a lot of, freshmen, young players, first-year guys in the program, that maybe that standard that was set by other guys, you're trying to live up to it, and maybe you're pressed a little bit.
Well, let's dive into tomorrow. The Vanderbilt series in particular, the Doors, 2 out of 3 in that
Correct.
series in Knoxville. Size up what you saw there in that series and what you think we're going to see tomorrow, sir.
Well, the recipe was similar to the other series that Tennessee struggled with in SEC play in the second half, Steve, and that's losing the rubber match. You win the first game of the series, you have a tough second game, and then it comes down to that third game, and it's been a struggle. They've had a number of different guys that they've started in those third games. A freshman, Tegan Coons, who's one of their top players from this past signing class, big time talent and arm. I think he's going to be great, but he's had, as a freshman, so he's had his growing pains at times. And, some games it's been him, or it's been him and Brayden Krenzel for a few weeks of the first half of the year. They were lights out as a freshman duo, kind of, splitting the game up on game 3. So I think he'll likely get the ball to start. He has settled in okay, but he's also had a couple of those throwing errors over to first on pick plays. So, Vanderbilt also, in the reason why Tennessee's throwing over there and they've had some of those throwing errors is because they weren't doing a great job overall most of the year. Haven't done a great job of holding runners and working against and defending the run game for opponents. Vanderbilt runs a ton. They stole 8 bases in game 2. So yeah, and Marcus Phillips is one that's really been picked on the most in teams stealing against them. He had 4 times more stolen bases allowed this year so far than any Tennessee pitcher had all of last year, where they only gave up 56 in 73 games. So he in his last couple of outings, though, he's been quicker to the plate. He's been throwing over to first. So defending the run game is going to be big. Vanderbilt took advantage of that. And then, I think it's a plus that they threw their ace in J.D. Thompson, who Tennessee actually beat in the Vanderbilt series. He pitched last night and pitched great. That's a one less high-level arm that Tennessee should see in this game. But Vanderbilt's deep. They got plenty of those. Tennessee's got arms that they can come back with as well. Maybe not as deep or as experienced as Vanderbilt. But, man, you just never know. You see guys, making errors and swing and miss when we're not used to seeing it. And you have new heroes that surface. So it's just the beauty of the pressure and the stakes of this SEC tournament that brings out the unknown. But second year in a row, these two teams have met in the semifinals of the SEC tournament.
Well, and we kind of know how the series wrapped up in Knoxville earlier in the month.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Vitello and Corbin, I would assume that both of them are going to have a conversation, be like, hey, this is bigger than the rivalry. But do you think that we see any heated exchanges or anything tomorrow?
Oh, it's certainly possible. I don't know that those two would get together and say, hey, let's make sure none of our guys, chirp. I think it's competitive, and Vanderbilt is they're known to try to get to the plate quick and before a batter's ready or just as a batter's ready. And there's a little cat and mouse where Tennessee would get in the box and not look up until they're required to with 8 seconds on the pitch clock. So there was some of that going on, and Tennessee has guys that will chirp back. And then they just weren't having their celebration on the field afterwards. So Vanderbilt was more than willing to express themselves on Tennessee's home field. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna prevent them from talking. It's just a matter of if the home plate umpires kind of try to squash it early if they do see something. And they did it to Liam Doyle, who chirped at the catcher for Texas yesterday, and really didn't seem to be an issue after that. So yeah, it'll probably pop up.
That's where I was about to go, Vince. I mean, there was a little bit of trying to think of a nice way to put exactly how that game started yesterday, of just boy, oh boy, healthy back and forth. How about that?
Yeah. Expression, lots of expressing.
Yes. And just moving forward, though, I even heard Tom Hart during the Vanderbilt-Oklahoma game last night when he was filling time mention about Tennessee, whether or not they would benefit in being on the road in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And if you say that out loud, it just like, really? We're going to – but is there any sliver of you that believes that Tennessee might benefit from not playing at home?
I do think it would not be a bad thing in a super regional, in a series type, or in the College World Series at a neutral site. On the road as a 2 seed at a regional, when it's so chaotic, you can get into a loser's bracket. It could kind of really change the dynamic quickly. I think, an advantage would be if you're either in a neutral site or it's just the 2 teams. And now you're the bad guys, in a one-on-one super regional. I think that's where they would benefit the most. I think you'd rather be at home as a regional host, and you can set up your pitching better and things like that, because you play a 4 seed in game 1 and maybe save your ace for game 2, things like that. So I think he was posing the question to Kyle Peterson, and Kyle Peterson joined us on earlier this week, and he said the same thing, that he thought it might not be the worst thing, but still in the end you want to be at home for a regional. I don't think they're going to be on the road anymore,
no.
Regardless of what happens. I mean, they're RPI up to 10. Some of the other teams that were in the mix have lost. They're 18 wins against SEC opponents, the most wins against, top 10 teams right now, 14 quad 1 wins, which is high up there. The defending national champs. I don't see a scenario. They'll be 9 through 16 in that range, unless they win it all. And if they win it all, I think you can get into the top 8 national hosts. There's no doubt. But yeah, I think that's out of the equation for the regional now.
Come on, Vince. We've spent a lot of money on this stadium and to improve Lindsey Nelson. Now we want this to be at home. Like, we've added seating for all of this. I mean, you remember?
He's sitting here saying
I say we because again, I've been covering
backing
this.
them.
I'm just saying. I remember, and Vince knows. Hey, let's add these bleachers now that we can these bleachers because we don't have enough seating. We want to add this up the line. Like Tennessee's invested a lot of money in this stadium. Like, I know that people say you want to be on the road, but no, you want to be at Lindsey Nelson.
Yeah, and it's not even. It's still a construction site. Like every game that in between games, when we go back, like something else is new, and they're still working on and redoing the front entrance, and there's a lot more that they're still working on. So it won't be a finished product until the start, if they're on time, of the 2026 season. But it still is much improved from what it was before, where they'd have a watch party outside and all that kind of stuff. They're not able to do that because of the construction. But you're right, man. It's always a crazy fun site, and you got to get the weather to cooperate too. Yes. Tennessee has not had great weather at home, and I think that's limited the crowds also. at times where you have a weather delay, you come back and it's like half or a third of the fans. So that's probably limited the fans impacting Tennessee games like we're used to seeing, especially last year and over the last couple of years.
And before we let you go, I've been trying to do the math on it. I think the last time, the largest comeback that Tennessee had before the one last night and yesterday was a game that I know you're going to remember because it was from the World Series last year against Florida State.
That's right. Yeah. Which, until they won yesterday against Texas, there was some of the projections had them going to Tallahassee as a 2 seed. But yeah, you're right. That was part of last year's team. They were blowing teams out, but they still had the ability when they would find themselves in adversity to work their way back and not flinch in those situations. So that's why having some of those experiences right now give them confidence that they can do it as well with a new group. I do think it's very meaningful.
Should be a lot of fun tomorrow, Vince. Really appreciate you hopping on.
Absolutely, man.
Good to talk to you guys. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Appreciate you.
Thank you,
too, sir.
See, that's the way to throw in your Memorial Day shout out right there.
Yes.
Don't say happy.
He did not say Happy Memorial Day. That's my guy.
What did he say? Have a nice
Yes.
Memorial Day weekend.
Absolutely.
That's perfectly acceptable.
Yes.
Perfectly acceptable.
All right. Now let's talk to a man that was yippee-ki-yay. That's not the same John McClain?
I wonder how many times he's gotten. I never have asked him about the Die Hard reference, but I'm sure he gets that all the time.
Every time you say John McClain, this is what I think of is yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah. Why didn't you finish that sentence?
I mean,
dump.
We've already
dump.
We got a dump button, right?
Yeah,
I got it.
Although
Yeah,
I really don't know if that's tied into the box that feeds the other stations.
Yeah, let's not do that.
So I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Even though I did wire that board. Yes, I did.
You saying you don't trust your own work?
I'm saying I don't trust my work.
All right, let's talk to John McClain. We come back because the NFL is making some rule changes. Look at that. Look at how quickly you can make rule changes, and it's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We'll be back on the Thom Abraham Show. Maybe we will get some good when we come back.
I thought it was all pretty good.
No.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show with Joe Hunk on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
NASCAR's Memorial Day holiday weekend of racing begins at the Charlotte Motor Speedway today with the Truck Series race. Corey Heim, the plus 175 favorite. Kyle Busch plus 185. Ross Chastain 6-1. William Byron plus 350 to win tomorrow's Xfinity Series race, while Kyle Larson is plus 550 to win the Coca-Cola 600 on Sunday. He's also 18-1 to win the Indy 500 as he attempts to do the double. How to award the 5-1 favorite to win at Indianapolis. Troy Trojans a $2.80 favorite over Old Dominion today, plus 210, 14.5 the total in the Sun Belt Conference Baseball Tournament. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold-certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your your shingles, we can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Have you discovered Good Company Cafe? The place for breakfast, brunch, lunch, and so much more. Enjoy brunch all day and pair with one of our many seasonal refreshing drinks, including alcoholic and non-alcoholic options. Choose inside or outside on our gorgeous, spacious, dog-friendly patio and have some fun with friends playing yard games in the courtyard. See catering, to-go options, and lots more at goodcompany-cafe.com. Good Company Cafe, 7500 South Memorial Parkway.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Spring has sprung, so now is the time to get into Owen Home Appliance Center and check out the new shipment of scratch and dent items that they have at the Somerville location. They got a side-by-side refrigerator down there with water and ice, just $6.99. Or you can head to the highly interactive location at Lacey Springs and get the latest in appliance tech. I mean, you got to check out the 21 cubic foot upright frost-free freezer for just $7.99. It's Owen Home Appliance Center.
Tick, tick, boom. Bringing the noise. Go, baby, we bringing our toys. Separate me from the boys.
This is not Thom Abraham music. Welcome in. Thom is off today. He is in a fishing tournament. So his son, John Abraham, obviously always on with myself on the Blitz from 9 to 11 in Huntsville, 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as well as ESPN Winchester, as you are listening in Huntsville, Winchester, as well as Nashville on this Friday afternoon. And let's talk a little bit about the NFL, because I know people in Nashville as well as Winchester have been paying attention to a lot of things that's been going on, especially with the meetings that were happening in Minneapolis, as the tush push is going to remain in the game at least for one more season. Joining us to talk about the NFL and everything that's been happening with the rule changes, as well as some of the practices that have been going on, is the one and only John McClain. John, how are you doing on this Friday afternoon, sir?
I'm doing great, battling the heat in Houston, but it's that time of year and we're used to it.
Absolutely you are. And I know that Houston's paying attention to this as well, but you also have the whole tush push thing is going on, which, looking through all of the schedules and all of the rules changes and everything that got voted on, I could see some other things that may be a little bit more bigger coming up in 2026, but the tush push and it being so polarizing, were you surprised that it didn't get banned?
I did. The competition committee wanted it banned. The Health and Safety Commission wanted it banned. And even though Roger Goodell claims he stays neutral, he wanted it banned. And I'm sure all the teams in the NFC East that have to play the Eagles twice a year wanted it banned. And the fact that it only missed by 2 votes tells me it'll be a big topic next year, and Goodell will have an entire year to twist a few arms and get it passed under the auspices of no propelling players forward on the field. Now, that'll encompass the whole field, but what they're really concerned about is the 1 yard line. One of the things they didn't like last year is when the guy kept flying over the pile, getting an offsides call, which moved it like 2 inches, 3 inches. They want to avoid that. And they're trying to say it's because of safety. But Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of the Eagles, brought in Jason Kelsey, his former center, to say, well, show us statistical evidence that it's dangerous and it's caused a lot of injuries. You can do that on kickoffs, but you can't do it on the tush push. And I don't think it should have been banned. I think that is a coward's way out. If you're not good enough to stop it and you're not good enough to do it, learn to stop it, learn to do it. Don't go whining to the NFL to change your rules because you're losing because you can't stop it.
The other big hot button issue has been this flag football ordeal. I say ordeal. It's just how big is this roster going to be next year? If you're telling me that the high level players can get out of OTAs and training camp, I'm going to figure that line's going to run around the block there for wanting to sign up for Olympic flag football next year.
Yeah, only one player per team can try out, and it doesn't mean they're all going to make it.
Yeah.
You'll have college players, you'll have recently retired players, you'll have UFL players. Just because you play in NFL doesn't mean you're going to be an elite flag football player. And I don't like it because all it takes is one serious injury to turn everybody against it. Now look back at the World Baseball Classic last year, in which the best reliever in baseball, Edwin Diaz of the Mets, blew out his ACL. There has not been the same since. Jose Altuve, playing for Venezuela, got hit in the hand, broke it, caused him to miss the first 2 or 3 months of the season. And all it's going to take is one player. Now, we're not going to see quarterbacks in there. We'll see skill position players, certainly no linemen are going to go play, but I like it better if you take guys who've just retired instead of guys, and they're going to miss. They'll miss part of training camp, which they'll like. But training camp is so easy these days, and they hardly play in preseason. When you're getting ready for flag football, they're going to work your tail off. There's no union that's bargaining time off and no pads for you. You're going to have to run some more, learn plays, learn how to, whatever it is they need you to do. But I don't think it's automatic that if you play in the NFL, you're going to be on that team.
So are you telling me it's going to be Tom Brady throwing passes to Terrell Owens?
Yeah, no, I'm sure Terrell Owens will go out because he shows all the time on Instagram he can outrun. He's still in incredible shape. I've seen him here at 2 celebrity golf tournaments, and he looks exactly like he looked when he played. And I think he's almost in his mid-50s. I'm not sure. I've never seen a former player who is in his greatest shape as T.O. is, which tells me he works out like a maniac every day.
I'm also curious about a loophole, if there is one, because I know that it's only one player per team, but also the international players that have been signed, they have the ability to go back and play for their countries. What about some of the players that may be from, Nigeria or Canada or some of those players? Would that be a loophole for them to get around the only one person per team rule where they could potentially go represent their country?
I'm not sure how that works. Tell you the truth, I don't give a rat's what about flag football. And I haven't paid much attention to it other than my 12 weekly shows. I get asked about it. But the truth is, I don't know anything else about it. I don't like it. The owners voted 32-0 to do it because Roger Goodell wanted it, because they think it'll help them make more money, increase the value of their franchises. And that's exactly what they need, because their franchises are only worth $7 or $8 billion today.
More likely to happen first, expanding again the schedule in the National Football League, or a team in London?
Oh, expanding the schedule. They wouldn't be going to London until probably sometime in the 30s, because if you're going to put one team there, you got to put 2.
Yep.
Just like they had the goal of putting 2 in L.A. They're going to 18 games. I don't think it'll be next season. I think it'll be more like the 2027 season. I think that they would do it, but it's inevitable, and everybody knows it. They need to add a second bye week to make it fair. And people go, oh my God, the Super Bowl would be moved back. Every team that bids to host a Super Bowl has to make sure the month of February is totally open. Cities can't put events in February. They have to keep everything for the NFL. The NFL is like the 800-pound gorilla. They could put it on Major League Baseball's opening day if they wanted to, and that would kill Major League Baseball's ratings for opening day. So it doesn't matter when the NFL does it. The one thing they don't want to do is play on Labor Day, because when they used to do that, their ratings started low. But it's been so long since they did it. Now I think if they played on Labor Day, it wouldn't matter. They would still have great ratings. But they have to give the players 2 weeks off. The thing that really bothered me that the NFL wanted to do, just like Goodell wanted the tush-push outlawed, so he found a team, Green Bay, to get behind it. Teams have to get behind possible rules changes when they talk to the competition committee about it, and then competition committee decides what they want to put on the agenda, and the owners vote. And the other one was the reseeding of the schedule, because I don't think they thought it out based on everything I read. There's not a head coach or GM that wants to reseed. They want winning your division to count for something. And they didn't have enough votes, so they didn't even put it up there. I think it would have been crushed. But I'll give you an example. What if the Dallas Cowboys, and I know this is fantasy football, won their division, and they won the division with a 10-7 record because the Eagles lost half their team to injuries, and Jaden Daniels went down with a torn ACL. So the Cowboys limp in with a 10-7 record, and ordinarily they would host a playoff game at AT&T Stadium. But in this case, they could be on the road. They lose on the road. It would not be fair the next season to make them play a first-place schedule. And I say that just to take shots at the Cowboys because it's been so long. And but the Texans have had that the last two seasons. They won the division, 10-7 record. They blew out Cleveland and the Chargers back-to-back in the wild card round, and they lost the divisional round at Baltimore and at Kansas City. Now, if they didn't get to play that game here, they'd had to go, say, Baltimore, Kansas City, they would have lost, and it wouldn't have been fair to ask them to come back and play a first-place schedule. So I think that something else has to be taken into consideration, schedule adjustments based on a new format. And I think it'll come up again next year, but I think they'd have a really hard time of getting teams to change it because owners do listen to coaches and general managers. Like Jerry Jones listens to his general manager because that's him. And he'll listen to his coach, but I'm sure Brian Schottenheimer, he didn't have a lot of cred when it came to Jerry. So Jerry's going to do what he wants to do. But most owners will try to do what the coaches and the GM want to do when it comes to league policy.
John, I really enjoy following you on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it this minute. It's at McClain_on_NFL. You tweeted out just a couple of hours ago a story written by Florio about Bill Belichick. Mac Brown saying lower academic standards should help Bill Belichick thrive there on Chapel. But ultimately, why didn't Bill Belichick get another opportunity in the NFL?
Maybe everybody knew about his girlfriend. They have proof that she was sitting in his seats there in 2021. And Mike Florio, as he pointed out, the reason he keeps writing about it so much and everybody else writes about it is because it's getting so many clicks. I read everything I can read about it because I'm just fascinated about it. Now, Belichick he only had one team that was seriously interested, and that was the Falcons, and then they hired Raheem Morris. Now, of course, you would hire Raheem Morris, who'd been fired in his only stint as head coach over a guy that had 8 Super Bowl trophies. But the fact is, no GM and team president, like the Falcons have, want Belichick coming in there, telling him what to do. And he said, I don't have to have total control, but everybody knew he would. And plus, I think Bob Kraft gave him a bad recommendation, which is why you'll see Kraft's name missing everywhere in his new book. But the thing about it, and I love the way Florio writes Jordan Hudson's name, 24 parentheses, possibly 23, because the fact is, if she is indeed 23, he would have been dating her when she was a teenager. And I think it's just, if he's happy, that's all I care about. But all these things about her not being involved in what's going on in North Carolina, that was a blatant lie. Open Records Acts. Bill's never had to deal with Open Records Acts. And as a state school, the media is going to be probably getting a monthly update to find out what's going on. They're probably going to have everybody's going to have a personal Twitter account so he can communicate with them. So I felt bad for Mac Brown, but, Mac had to go. And what he was saying in that, as Florio pointed out, without saying it, why didn't they do that for me? And I love the lowering of academic standards. At some point, Belichick will come out and deny it.
I love you. I do. I mean, I don't have any more questions now. I'm just I love listening.
I wanted to pivot over to the passing of Jim Irsay. And at least when I think about Jim Irsay, he is tied to his dad. And his dad is tied to that Mayflower going to Indianapolis. But ultimately, how are you going to remember Jim Irsay?
Jim Irsay was the antithesis of his father, who was an alcoholic, despicable man who everybody hated. And Jim, when he was a kid and he watched how his daddy operated, he told people, I'm never going to be that way. And he never was. Now, he had a pain pill addiction because when he was at SMU, where he majored in broadcast journalism, he became a competitive weightlifter. At one point, he was up to 290 pounds. Then he had neck issues. He had back issues. So he had multiple surgeries, and he got addicted to the pills, and he fought those demons. But in most cases, he let his people do their job. The media liked him. Fans liked him. He gave away hundreds of millions of dollars up there. And people should Google this, the Jim Irsay collection, his unbelievable collection of guitars, drum sets, jerseys, balls, things have nothing to do with sports. They're incredible. And I would suggest looking up Real Sports with Andrea Kramer 2 years ago on HBO when he let her come into his inner sanctum and she got to show it all. It was unbelievable. He turned down $1.5 billion. He'd been offered for it. And I'll be really interested to see what his daughters, the oldest, Carly, who has been really running the franchise a lot. She's been involved in almost every part of the organization. Everybody says it'll be a smooth transition. And I'm partial to Irsay, number one, because he's a broadcast journalism major who always knew the media had a job to do and knew that you go to reach out to your fans through the media. But also, I'm sitting here with a football right after I retired from the Houston Chronicle after the 2022 draft. I got a package in the mail, and I opened it, and it was a football engraved to me from Jim Irsay and the Colts on 47 years of excellence, and he sent me a note. So I will always be a big Jim Irsay fan. And you can see all the tributes coming out. When his dad died, I don't think anybody in his family even gave a tribute.
Wow.
No, thank you so much, though. That's a obviously fantastic story as well, and appreciate you so much for hopping on and giving us your opinion on this stuff. I absolutely love your opinion on the Olympics thing. That I will laugh about that for weeks. So thank you so much.
Now, I'd pay attention if it was like lingerie football, which I think was flag football.
Yeah.
They had a league for that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, not enough people watched it, which boggled my mind. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for having me on. Have a great weekend.
John, you're the best. You're the best. Thank you, sir. That is John McClain.
Oh my God.
I'm just telling you. He just, you ask him a question, he's going to give you an answer.
And he's going to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be honest.
Love it.
He absolutely is. All right. We come back.
She better be 24.
She better be, because if she's 23, he was dating her when she was a teenager.
Oh, golly.
think he was a
and
chaperone at a prom.
You're a girl dad. I'm a girl dad. That is cringeworthy.
Absolutely.
I don't know who's involved on her side of the family, but regardless, I don't know. Maybe it's the
Obviously.
money. There's some money involved, probably.
Daddy issues. We'll be back on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show with Joe Hunk on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Thom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window Company. When it comes to replacement windows, exterior doors, or new window screens, Your Home Window is the answer anywhere in Huntsville, Athens, Decatur, or Hartselle. Your Home Window windows and doors are made here in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. When replacing those old windows or doors, Your Home Window has the solution for you. In-home estimates are always free and financing is available. Learn more at yourhomewindow.com and see clearly with Your Home Window. Visit yourhomewindow.com to make an appointment today.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title, because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal. And we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
This is Steve Moulton for Lee's Magic Tunnel. Do you live out of your car? Does your car look like you've been well lived in? Then take your vehicle to Lee's Magic Tunnel, located on the Parkway. Any size of the vehicle, it doesn't matter. Lee's will get it clean. Offering many types of washes, but getting it clean inside and out. Ask for the manager special. That's at Lee's Magic Tunnel, located on the Parkway, and located online at leesmagictunnel.com for more information.
Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room. And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama.
Hey there, everybody. Bob Baumhauer here, letting you know that we understand that times are tough and we truly believe value matters. So, by popular demand, we brought back our Inflation Bites menu featuring scratch-made meals that will make the whole family smile and your wallet, too. Menu items start at just $7.99 and any entree comes with a free beverage. Try our classic tailgate burger for just $8.99 or our hearty Bam Bam chicken platter for $9.99. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new. Plan your next vacation with Huntsville International Airport and Breeze Airways. Enjoy friendly, convenient, nonstop travel to some of the most exciting destinations in the U.S., including the home of iconic casinos, world-class shows, dining, and entertainment. Las Vegas. With flights starting as low as just $79, Breeze has got you covered with easy, breezy, nonstop flights to Las Vegas. Book nonstop to Las Vegas now at flybreeze.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the show is brought to you by the Orthopedic Center, where thousands of area residents have gotten world-class care from the Valley's most trusted and experienced group of orthopedic surgeons and medical specialists. So if you have an orthopedic problem and you're considering professional care, TOC is the only logical choice. Whether you have a work-related injury or got sidelined playing a sport you love, you need the best care, the best physicians, the best facility to get you back in the game. And I think you're going to agree that the Orthopedic Center is right for you.
Final segment here of the Thom Abraham Show, along with Joe Hunk, as well as John Abraham.
Yeah.
Steve Moulton back here with
Just call me Captain Cool.
Maybe
so this is like 4 hours for you guys.
Yes.
I just kicked it in here for 2 hours. I mean, what better way to end it than with the phone callers?
Yeah.
But I really do want to thank Vince Ferrara and John McClain for getting back to me as quickly as they did. John's always great. He's a national treasure. He really is.
That is the truth.
It is Ronald Acuna Jr. Day.
That's right. You'll hear him on WNSR coming up here tonight.
Yes, as the Braves had to make room for him. And so the person that they are going to potentially move down to Gwinnett, infielder Orlando Arcia.
Bye.
Who has been DFA'd.
See you later.
Orlando Arcia is actually up for a club option of $2 million next year.
Yeah, he did make an all-star game.
He did. Let's go to the phone lines. 256-576-977. LSU Lynch, how's it going, sir?
Lord, it's the Friday threesome or the Friday trifecta we got going on here.
Ooh, the Friday trifecta.
Yeah.
I like that.
In honor of Thom Abraham, that's actually...
Might confuse some people, though. I mean,
all right, man, y'all look here. I got to say this so somebody can come behind me. Look here. Hell yes, number one to the lingerie football. But number two, y'all know I'm always bidding to have the hot women in the bikini playing the curling game. Go LSU.
Brandon will easily follow that spot right there.
It's a sponsor for the LFL.
How are you, Brandon?
Is Paige Ferrara going to be part of that league that Lynch is talking about?
Wow. I don't know. I know you will research it for me and text me multiple pictures.
Hey, at least I texted you and made sure you were all right the other night.
You did. I appreciate that.
I was figuring Drew was going to send pictures of him in the cage with the dogs under the table, but he did not.
The tornado that went through towards the outer skirts of Madison, that cell went right over our neighborhood in downtown Huntsville. So that was as scary of a situation that I've been a part of.
Well, I'm glad y'all are all right. And
likewise.
Everybody made it through. Yeah, it got a little rough over here for a little while, but it passed pretty quick. And I wanted to thank John and Joe. When Drew was on today, he was able to kind of, I guess, eulogize the career that was for one Miss Ace Austin that Steve Moulton got to see her probably at the height of her performance against a real team this year. And she leaves today, and there'll be some tears and there'll be some people upset because you'll never see anything like her again, probably around here, not in my lifetime. At least I don't think so anyway. I think she's
never know.
Truly generational for high school. You might.
I mean,
but I'm just saying for what I've seen. But I appreciate you guys being kind to her and always being just good people in general and letting Drew say those things. You don't get that kind of a hometown local touch at a lot of radio stations, and that's what makes this one special. It's the people behind the shows that make it great. So I just wanted to say thank you to you guys for what you did. Thank you for coming and doing the game earlier this year and all the talk that we've been able to put out there because those girls are special to me, near and dear. And at 5 o'clock Eastern time today, we'll see her walk the last time, and that'll be a legend leaving. So
We're going to see more. We're going to see more of her, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm about to say, gosh, she's not dying.
yeah, we're going to see plenty more of her
Roll
in
Tide, baby.
Tuscaloosa.
I mean, yeah, she's going to play for Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30 minutes and 3 hours is a big difference in how far you can go to watch her versus being able to go to every game she plays versus maybe like 5 or 6 a year if things work out.
So you're telling me, Brandon, you need another excuse to go to Tuscaloosa? Is that what you're telling me?
I've got so much work going on that trying to, like, I'm probably going to work this entire weekend. I just went and spent $400 at Kroger, and I don't even know if I'll even get to eat any of this food for this party we're having this weekend. I'll probably be in here working. But I saw Huntsville play against Hoover. That was a man's basketball game.
I was there.
Grown man fist fight to come down to one basket.
Blood was involved.
There was, yeah.
Literally. Plenty of blood. Yeah.
And those boys over there, Stapler and the rest of them on that team, you could not have asked for them to give more than they did. They gave everything they had and then some. And as far as boys basketball goes, that's the best game I saw all year, hands down. And those dudes are warriors. And it's just sad that game was not the state championship game instead of being a second-round playoff game.
Brandon, we are right up against it. Good to hear from you, brother.
Roll Tide.
So my dad joke that I wasn't able to do, I was going to give you an NBA segment.
Yeah.
And for those of you in Nashville, I was going to play Thunder Rolls by Garth Brooks because
They do be rolling.
The Thunder's but can they do it on the road? That was my dad joke.
Yeah.
Remember, finally, it is not Happy Memorial Day.
It's not.
It is not Happy Memorial Day. That being said, we're not back here till Tuesday.
Yeah, we're getting out of here. I got LFL pulled up on the Google images. I'm sorry.
What?
Excuse me?
This is Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Doug Brown. For the second game in a row, the Thunder take control in the third quarter and beat the Timberwolves, this time 118-103. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with